Hey, Mike here from SupremeGadgets. Now today I've got a quick video really on a problem I've been having with my Apple Watch, and that is that the back keeps coming off when I put it on the charger, which is very handy. I've been looking on the internet and there just seems to be a considerable amount of people with this same problem. This is a first generation Apple Watch, so I can't say if it does affect the second generation. However, what happens is when I put it on the charging dock, here we have a proper charger, pop it on there, pull it off, and as you can see the back remains with the charger and it comes off like that. Now that has clipped back on fairly well, and it does clip back on and stick. Oh, there you go, again you see it's come off and it has stuck to the back of the watch strap as well, because the watch strap is magnetic, which is bad. But also, I don't know if we can actually see here, there's actually a ribbon cable come loose. So that means that the heart rate sensor and the unlocking mechanism and even Bluetooth and that type of thing doesn't actually work when that's disconnected. It still charges up because there is another cable, but this has happened a lot. So what I've actually been doing, if I just pop that down very carefully on the on there, hopefully it won't damage it any further. What I've actually been doing is using a thin piece of tissue paper on the charger, between the charger and the watch, and pulling it off with that, and it does work, and it keeps the back together with the actual watch. However, I've actually just done some washing up after some lunch, put my watch back on my wrist. It hadn't come apart or anything. Came up to do a bit of work on my videos and noticed my watch wasn't unlocked. Even though I had been on my phone several times, it was locked. And every time I punched my PIN number in on the watch, it would immediately lock again. So for some reason, the ribbon cable, despite the back not having come off for several days, has actually disconnected itself. So that's a bit of a problem. So what I want to try and do now is actually show you the process I go through of actually putting that ribbon cable back on, because it is possible, but it's fiddly. So I'll try my best to film it. So here goes. So what I have done is remove the watch strap, because that was magnetic and obviously causing an obstruction as well. So what we can see here is we've got the heart rate sensor and the casing, and here, if I just twist it round a little bit to see, you can see the ribbon cable has come loose from this bit here. This little thin wire here is, I presume, for charging, because it still does charge through this faceplate here, or that produces power, I'm not quite sure. But this ribbon cable works with all the sensors and Bluetooth and that kind of thing. It won't unlock the phone unless that is connected, so I've got to very fiddly connect that to here now. So I'm going to try and do that on camera and see how it goes. So what I'm going to try and do now is very carefully, I do apologise if I obstruct the view, this is a very fiddly task. So after a considerable amount of work, as you could see before, I was fiddling for ages and pushing this very tiny cable in. It's finally gone in, so what I can do is just clip that down, hopefully, in place. And it clips in place and it's okay then, but it's as soon as you plug it into one of the chargers again, it'll come off. So, as I said, what I do is I put this over the top of it, in between the watch and the charger, and that does hold it in place. I'm not quite sure why the cable came off before at all, because it hadn't actually come undone at all over the last few days, so that is very bizarre. So what I'll do is I'll just put the watch strap back on now. Okay, now we've got back onto the watch, and hopefully we tap it. Yes, as you can see there, it isn't locked. It'll stay unlocked now that you're on your wrist, and hopefully we're just going to the heart rate monitor, which is here. Should hopefully be picking, yes, that is probably because my heart rate's high because I've been just working on that. So yes, the heart rate monitor is working. It hasn't obviously been working for 2 hours for some reason, so I'm not quite sure why that happened, what happened to the ribbon cable at all, but it's fixed now. Now this is the bedside charge that I use for the Apple Watch. So what I'll show you is how I charge it up at the moment. As you can see, I wrap it in this tissue paper and then carefully pop it on there, making sure the tissue paper comes above and below. Just switch the power switch on, and as you can see, it's charging nicely even through the tissue paper. And then to remove it from the charger, I simply get hold of both ends of the tissue paper and lightly pull, and there you go, it's come off and the back is intact. So that is a stopgap method until you can get it repaired, although I suspect and I've heard that Apple are charging to repair this problem, even though it's probably a fault of their own. Obviously the glue's not strong enough to hold this in place, but because this is now 2 years old, there's no guarantee on it, so it's out of guarantee, so that's a problem. So now is a test. I've got my phone here, so hopefully the watch will come on. Unlock my phone and it's unlocked the watch, so great, still working perfectly fine. So thanks very much for watching this video, see you next time.